1 in 4 people will experience a mental health disorder within their lifetime. That means that if it's not you, it's your friend, your partner, your sibling, your boss, or even the mom at the school pickup line who looks like she hasn't slept since the early 2000s. And here's the thing. The 5 most common disorders are everywhere. They shape how we show up in relationships, at work, and even how we parent. So today I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 most common mental health disorders, what they actually look like in real life, and why knowing them matters. Because once you can name it, you can stop blaming yourself for it. And once you know, you also can't just ignore it anymore. Naming it is step 1, but healing requires responsibility and accountability for how it's affected the people around you too. At number 1, we have anxiety disorders. When people hear the word anxiety, they usually think of worry or stress. But clinically, anxiety disorders are like they're this whole family tree. Generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety, and phobias. All of them share one thing in common. Your brain's threat system is on overdrive. It's like your smoke alarm keeps screaming at burnt toast as if it's a 5-alarm house fire. What does it feel like? It's not just being nervous. It's chest tightness, a racing heart, sweaty palms, spiraling thoughts, and sometimes a full-blown panic attack where you feel like you might die, even though you've literally just standing in line at a grocery store. And the cruel joke, your logical brain knows there is no danger, but your nervous system didn't get the memo. So where does this come from? Anxiety disorders happen when your fight or flight system gets stuck in high gear. Genetics, brain chemistry, trauma, or years of living on edge can prime your body to overreact. Now, left unchecked, anxiety can shrink your world. People avoid social events, they stop driving, or they even retreat from life. But here's the truth. You can't just switch off the alarm system, but you can learn how to lower the volume and stop letting it ruin your life. Therapy, medication, and grounding tools. They don't necessarily erase the anxiety, but they do give you something to steer the wheel with. At number 2, we have depression or major depressive disorder. Depression isn't just sadness or having a rough week. It's like your brain hit the brakes on joy and energy and motivation while the world just keeps rolling forward. Now imagine dragging 3 sandbags and an existential crisis behind you while everyone else is just sprinting past. You may feel exhausted and detached or find little to no pleasure in things that used to light you up. Daily life can feel surreal. Getting out of bed feels like climbing Mount Everest. Basic tasks like eating, showering, or even leaving the house becomes mountains. So why does this happen? Depression is often a mix of brain chemistry, genetics, and life stresses. And yes, it can happen to anyone at any age. The accountability piece is that depression isn't your fault, but you are responsible for taking steps to care for yourself, so it doesn't quietly spill over and hurt the people around you. Healing doesn't erase the disorder, but it gives you a chance to live life fully again. At number 3, we have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, ADHD is not laziness. It's not a failure of willpower. Imagine your brain has 20 browser tabs open. 3 are frozen, 2 are streaming cat videos, that you didn't even click on, and one vanished entirely. That's how attention feels. Constant, chaotic, sometimes exhilarating, but sometimes it is so debilitating. People with ADHD might struggle with focus, organization, impulsivity, or emotional regulation. Things that seem simple to others, paying the bills, keeping appointments, holding a conversation, can feel like an advanced level puzzle. It comes from differences in brain structure, neurotransmitters, and executive function. The accountability here isn't about shaming yourself, but it is about learning the strategies, routines, and sometimes medication to work with your brain instead of against it. And the goal is to stop ADHD from running your life or your relationship while still embracing your creativity and energy. At number 4, we have post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Now, PTSD isn't just for combat veterans. Any overwhelming trauma, abuse, accidents, assaults, disasters, these can all rewire the brain to stay in survival mode. Your nervous system acts like the war never ended, even when the danger is gone. Symptoms include flashbacks and nightmares, hypervigilance, irritability, emotional numbing, and avoidance. Imagine trying to live in a quiet room while your brain is convinced a tornado is barreling through. That is PTSD. Why this happens is trauma imprints on your nervous system. Your brain is wired to protect you, but it can overshoot. The accountability piece here is that trauma is not your fault, but the healing is on you. Processing, therapy, grounding work. Otherwise, these stress responses keep controlling your life and your relationships. It's painful, but reclaiming your nervous system is the path forward. At number 5, we have bipolar disorder. Now, bipolar disorder is often misunderstood. It's not just mood swings. It's cycling between highs, mania or hypomania, and lows, depression. Highs can feel like superpowers, hyperactivity, boundless energy, taking risks, while the lows feel crushing, empty, and hopeless. Living with bipolar is like having an emotional roller coaster in your brain that never asks for your permission. Decisions made at extreme highs or lows can hurt relationships, finances, and your career. It comes from a combination of genetics and brain chemistry, as well as environmental triggers. Accountability is huge here. Treatment, therapy, medication, and support systems is non-negotiable. You have to engage with it, or the swings will continue to control not just your life, but everyone close to you. So that's the 5 most common mental health disorders: anxiety, depression, ADHD, PTSD, and bipolar disorder. Now, if you've seen yourself reflected in any of these, remember, you are not broken, but it is on you to seek support, to take responsibility, and to do the work for your own healing. Because your mental health ripples out into your relationships, your career, and the life you're building. Healing isn't perfection, it's effort, consistency, 1,000 small choices that remind your brain and the people around you that you are committed to living fully. Now, if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and give this a like. If you want more mental health guidance and wellness advice, go ahead and hit subscribe. And drop a comment. Which of these 5 do you wish people actually understood better?